Right. Back again to Ayah 30, right? 29. وقالوا إن هي إلا حياتنا الدنيا. It's okay. وما نحن. So they denied the resurrection. They denied that there is a life. And anyone who denies a life after this life, he or she will live for this life and try to maximize the benefit from this life. Those who live for this life, they will have nothing will stop them from achieving your goals, right? Because and that's why you try to know the law to avoid the law, right? You know the law to avoid it, because since you can be smart to go through loopholes, but in the hereafter, how are you going to go through? So those who do not believe in the hereafter, they are going to invest their energy and time to maximize the joys and the benefits material in this life, because no consequences in the hereafter. But those who believe in the hereafter, then every step they take and every word they say, they calculate it very well. And that's why Allah told you, وَمَا يَلْفُظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ. When you open your mouth, you calculate what kind of word I'm going to say. Is it going to be for me or against me? When you do anything, again, you are going to count. Is it going to please Allah or going not to please Allah? This is how you live as a Muslim. Yeah. Everything is based on accountability. Even in this our life, even if we fool ourselves, you know yourself, if you pass the red light, sometimes there is a camera that can send you the ticket, or there is a police who can catch you. Yeah. But if there are no consequences, then why should I stop by the red light? Everybody will. If you don't pay your bill, they will cut your service. But if they don't cut your service, you say, why should I pay the bill? Yeah. So the consequences in this life are managing our life so that would be discipline. Then if that is the case, then how about the hereafter? Believing that Allah created them, for sure that there will be consequences for those who do not follow His commands. Number 30, وَلَوْ تَرَى إِذْ وُقِفُوا عَلَى رَبِّهِمْ. Now, we know that every human being, every man, every woman, on the day of judgment, you will stand and Allah will be talking to you face to face with no translator. Because Allah is Allah, He knows, He created all the languages, He knows, and He will stand up and He will discuss with you your account. So make sure that nothing that you be ashamed of on that day. إِذْ وُقِفُوا عَلَى رَبِّهِمْ. They are standing. قَالَ. Then here is a talk, right? He is talking to you. So you have to now envision that you are going to stand. Imagine that you died today, you are dead, tomorrow the day of judgment, and tomorrow you are standing and He is asking you. This is how He's going to ask you. If you are submitting to Him, He will not ask you this. If you are not submitting to Him, this is what He's going to ask you. قَالَ أَلَيْسَ هَذَا بِالْحَقِّ. What is al-haq now? Referring to what? The day of judgment. You were promised. Every single prophet came to you and told you, tomorrow you will die, tomorrow you will be resurrected, tomorrow you will stand for the judgment. You did not accept it, you did not believe in it. Now, أَلَيْسَ هَذَا بِالْحَقِّ. Isn't this day that you were told and you refused to accept it, isn't it haq? Haq means you see it. Now you are standing up. And here is hell, and here is heaven. قَالُوا بَلَا وَرَبِّنَا. But before you said no. Because how you are going to deny something that you see it and you feel it? قَالُوا بَلَا وَرَبِّنَا. Then the judgment is over. The judgment is what? Not فَقَالَ قَالَ. Remember what you read in Surah Al-Mulk? كلما ألقي فيها فوج سألهم خزنتها ألم يأتكم نذير قالوا بلى فكذبنا وقلنا ما نزل الله من شيء. You refused, you denied, you declined to accept. Now you are in hell and you say now we accept. It is too late. Why to take a chance and wait and then you say, now I believe, الآن وقد عصيت. قالوا بلى وربنا قال فذوقوا العذاب بما كنتم تكفرون. فذوقوا العذاب, take, now it is time for you to taste. And one thing we should know that, what is infinity? It is difficult for us to envision infinity, right? Because we have not experienced infinity. Why? Because the night falls, the day is over. The sun rises, the night is over. Infinity means there is no end. And the human cannot have the capacity of envisioning the infinity. Like they say, anything that you have accomplished, it's called past tense. Like yesterday, graduation. Yesterday, wedding. Yesterday is winning. So, yesterday, it means the time has come to an end. Infinity means it is continuous. It doesn't, like, there is no sun in heaven. There is no night in heaven. There is no moon in heaven. There is no sleep in heaven. So how you can envision a life like that? You can't envision it. Why? Because you never experienced it. You see, you only talk about something that you have experienced. For something that you have not experienced, although it is true, it is difficult to accept, but what makes you to accept? Because Allah talked about it. You understand? Allah talked about Al-Jannah, that it is Na'im Abadi. It is infinity, infinity. It doesn't end. But also He talked about the punishment in hell is also infinity. In this life, people are in jail, it is not infinity. Either they are going to get out or they are going to die. But when you are talking about life, the hereafter, there is no death. It is an infinity of happiness or infinity of punishment. It is difficult for people to comprehend, but easy to believe. Why easy to believe? Because the one who is talking doesn't lie. And the one who is talking is whom? Allah is talking. قالوا بلى وربنا قال فذوقوا العذاب ما كنتم تكفرون. Now, remember that life based on profit and loss, right? Win and lose. This is how life is. In business, profit and loss. In sports, what you have? Win or lose. In campaigning, in elections, win or fail. Everything is based on two. Win, lose. Gain, okay, or lose. So here is khasira. Because our relationship with Allah was put in a frame of tijara. قُلْ هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى تِجَارَةٍ تُنْجِيكُمْ مِنْ عَذَابٍ. Do you want me to show you a kind of business that you can make with Allah? This business can put you where? In heaven. So here Allah says in 31, قَدْ خَسِرَ. قَدْ خَسِرَ. Who are the ones who lost? قَدْ خَسِرَ الَّذِينَ كَذَّبُوا بِلِقَاءِ اللَّهِ. Those who did not accept that there is a day after. لِقَاءِ اللَّهِ means the day after. Okay, because Allah, look how many times you read the Quran. وَأَنَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ الرُّجْعَى وَإِلَىٰ رَبِّكُمْ تُرْجَعُونَ إِنَّ لِلَّهِ وَإِنَّا إِلَيْهِ رَاجِعُونَ. So, those who did not believe that there is a day where you are going to meet Allah, what happened? خسر, you have lost. قد خسر الذين كذبوا بلقاء الله حتى إذا جاءتهم الساعة. What? What is Baghdad? Heart attack. A person is healthy.
Stroke.
Person is healthy. Like yesterday, I was talking to a friend in the bank, and he told me our Prime Minister's brother, who was younger than him, suddenly died. Healthy, and suddenly died. Heart attack. This is Baghdad. And who is immune from having this Baghdad?
Nobody.
No. So you are the healthiest man or woman. I know a friend of mine who was playing tennis, very athlete. And when he was playing tennis, while he was playing, he had a heart attack. While he was playing, he had a heart attack. No symptoms of disease, nothing, was very skinny, very sporty man, but I had heart attack. So who can be immune from having an attack? No, and that's why it's called Baghdad. So if you don't know when this will happen, then you should be prepared. Okay. قد خسر الذين كذبوا بلقاء الله حتى إذا جاءتهم الساعة بغتة قالوا يا حسرتنا على ما فرطنا فيها. You know, time, you always hear people, they say, I want to kill the time. How they kill the time? Sleeping? Or they are in Tyson, the new Tyson. Shopping. Or in the internet. But in reality, the time is killing them. Because the minute that passes, it doesn't come. Because every one of us, every hour you live, it decreases your span of age. Because if you are 50, so every minute that passes, it brings you closer to the 50. And this, remember the ayah that we covered last week, لا يستأخرون. Why Allah used yastakhiruna? Because you want to say, give me more time. Right? When the death comes, you say, give me more time to fix myself. But that is not going to be given. So this is where most people, if not majority of people, are not paying attention to time. And that's when Allah swears by the time, wal asr. Allah is swearing by it. But people are not paying attention to it. Every minute it passes, it brings you closer to death. فإذا جاء أجلهم لا يستأخرون ساعة ولا يستقدمون. There is no time will be given to you more, or it will be taken away from you. قالوا يا حسرتنا. حسرة, what's the حسر? حسرة in reality means like حسرة على رأسه, that you take, if you are covering your head, you take it away. Or حسرة when the water is receding. Okay, so here you are showing the maximum grief for the time that passed without you using it. Any minute that passes where Allah is not part of your thinking, that is what is called hasra. Yeah, hasratna ala ma farratna. Farrata is a waste. Yeah, people are wasting tons of time. They are not really paying attention to the time, but the time is going to be counted against them in the hereafter. يا حسرتنا على ما فرطنا فيها وهم يحملون أوزارهم. Imagine يحملون أوزارهم. What is أوزار? The bad deeds. And the worst of the bad deeds is what? الشرك. You are carrying it on your shoulders. وهم يحملون أوزارهم. Awzar is referring to the evil actions that they did in their life. It becomes like a weight that you are carrying it. But the worst of it is when you believed Allah had a partnership, or you not believe in Him. That is the heaviest sin that you'll be carrying on your shoulders. ألا ساء ما يزرون. Remember, ساء يسوء سيئة, something that you are ashamed of. That's why it's called as-saw'a. As-saw'a is referring to the private parts. That's something that you feel ashamed to be exposed. So you are ashamed that you have carrying those sins over your soul, because on the day of judgment, everybody will be seeing it. Because remember, on the day of judgment, people will be sorted into two groups, right? The smallest group of heaven, the largest group of what? Of hell. Because we know in the authentic hadith in al-Bukhari, on the day of judgment, people will be sorted one. The ratio is 1 to 1,000, right? One will go to heaven, 999 will go to hell. So if you will be on this aisle, and the majority will be on the other aisle. That's why when Allah says, لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمْ, Allah did swear that He will fill hell with the humans and the jinn. But He never swear that He will fill heaven.
Never.
Because the few, ثُلَّةٌ مِنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ, very few. And that's why it's a struggle. You know, sometimes you want people to accept Islam and you are dying. You say, I wish I can give them injection to accept Islam or buy a pill. But it is up to people to do. And that's why you have a prophet in the day of judgment. Can you imagine a prophet in the day of judgment coming and he is by himself? And no one accepted Islam. And we have Lut alayhi salatu wasalam, he has what? 2 daughters. Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, he lost his son and he lost his wife. So don't play the game that you are stronger and you are more smarter than the prophet. It's nothing to do with the smart. It is 2 ways. That you are eloquent in presenting this. You are a good salesman. You are a good saleswoman, right? Because you have lousy salesmen and lousy saleswomen. They don't believe in what they do it as a job, but they don't have the passion for it. When you have a passion for Islam, this is one. But also you have one to accept this passion. So it doesn't mean that you have passion means everybody will be accept Islam. You cannot be more eloquent than the prophet or the prophets. But you need to be passionate. You need to do what you claim or what you preach, and you show that you love this person like you love yourself, and you want the best for that person the way you love it for yourself. But it depends on the person to accept this or not to accept this. You cannot force anybody to be accepting guidance. What is this life that we live in? If you analyze what mainly the features of life, you will find that majority of life is based on fun, play, entertainment, and fun. Ask yourself, how much people spend money for entertainment? In some countries they say for travel they spend billions of dollars. Allah says in this whole life in 2 words, lahwun, and then the other ayah, la'ibun wa lahu. Every one of us in this life, 90%, if not more than 90% of your time is spent on la'ib and lahu. You are playing and you are telling yourself.
Watching TV.
They are watching TV, yes. They say the average child spends, by the time he grows up, 150,000 hours watching TV. And most of the TV is violence,
exactly,
and nakedness and all this filthy stuff.
Nonsense.
So when Allah says, and Allah is the one who says, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَهْوٌ وَلَعِبٌ. So how, our only life is lahu and la'ib. There's nothing more than this. So if everything in this life, lahu and la'ib, mean fun and entertainment, how you as a Muslim can make it in ways to please Allah. This is the challenge. Again, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهُ. Allah says to you that this life is a life of la'ib and lahu, play, entertainment. How you can convert this into ways to please Allah. This is the challenge. When you spend your time with your children, it's called lahu and la'ib. But if you are putting in their souls and hearts the love of Allah, then this love you're going to be rewarded for it. You see the difference? You can't take them to the park. You have 2 parents. They take their kids to the park. One is taking them to the park to have fun and to play. There's nothing wrong. And the other group is taking them, look, this bird. Look how this bird, Allah made it. The tree, Allah made it. Then what's the difference between A group and B group?
Big difference.
This is a la'ib, and this is a la'ib. But this B group is making ibadah, because ibadah means what? You go by the book. So everything, قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانْظُرُوا. So you are walking, you see the tree, you see the birds, you see, because Allah said, إِنْهُمْ إِلَّا أَمُرُ. You look at the ant, and you watch the ant, how the ant is cutting its food, and then you watch your kids, how the ant is cutting this corn or this seed into 2 pieces. Why is it cutting in 2 pieces? Because the ant wants to store it, so when the winter time comes, it has food. But it will make sure that it will not get moist, because if it gets moist, it will become what? Become a plant. So who taught this ant to do this? Then you take them to the farm and you show them the chicken, you show them that this cow eats the grass, gives you milk. If you eat the grass, can you make milk? You don't. Then how this beef is making milk? And even if they eat newspaper, they will make milk. But how they make milk? Subhanallah, even I was watching this, that some cows, they weigh a ton, right? But this meat, what is making this meat is only the grass. And if you eat the grass, you will die. I mean, it doesn't give you. So how the grass is giving them all this protein to make them weigh a ton or even more than a ton. The horses, you saw the horses in Turkestan, what they eat? They eat the grass. And then suddenly they weigh a ton. And their speed is maybe like a car. And if you as a human, you live on diet of grass, for sure, you will die. Yes.
Question, and I'm looking for advice. I have another conversation with one of my young employers. He's also a young man, and we had a conversation, and he said, "This is one life, just like we were reading.
Yeah.
One life to live. I don't believe in hereafter, and that's it." And I had a conversation, but I wasn't satisfied with myself, with being able to convince him, there is life after this. What kind of
The
advice can you give me?
the convincing of a life after this life is very easy. It doesn't have to have a faith. Easy that in this life, everything is based on consequences. For you as my employee, right? What makes you to come on time and goes on time?
Here's the picture.
Right? It means you're afraid of what? Of having to pay your paycheck. What makes you to stop at the traffic light when it is red? What makes you to pay taxes? It means you are afraid of what? Consequences. Now, if everybody will not have consequences, tell me how our life will be. No one will stop at the traffic light. No one will pay the bill. No one will pay taxes. Then what kind of life we'll have? It means that we must base our life based on the consequences. That's what makes us be afraid not to violate. Then, how many are being killed unjustly? How many are in prison unjustly? How many are employed and not paid justly? Then if life will not be having consequences, then why not to be worse than anybody else in this life and be selfish?
When he says this is one shot, I get one shot at it.
No, you see the point, that's why I'm saying that's why Al-Quran is based on what? Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmah. Number one is wisdom. Wisdom means you have to talk to someone based on his or her ability to comprehend. That's why you use these examples of life. He cannot challenge you in these examples. He cannot say you, no, I don't care at what, because tell him, I'm going to fire you. Let me see you coming late. How many days and what will happen to you? I'm going to fire you. So hikmah means talk to the person at the level of comprehension from real life. And that's why Al-Quran is full of examples. Why Al-Quran told you, look at the mountain. Now, we have discovered recently, not until today, that the base of the mount down is double than what is on the surface. Right? Allah is giving you tons of examples that you can use, but if people are arrogant, they know but they are not going to listen to you. There's a difference between being arrogant and being what? Being willing to accept the facts. So hikmah, maw'idha hasana, at the end, وَجَادِلْهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. If they don't want to accept, like you said, لَكُمْ دِينُكُمْ وَلِدِينَ, after I explain to them. But to convince people, you cannot, no one has, I told you, are we equal to the prophets?
No.
Then how the prophets, they could not convince their own family members. Noah could not convince his wife, could not convince his son. So it is two ways. You are willing to accept, it will be given to you. You are not willing to accept, not going to be given to you. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهُ وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ هُمْ. That is the key. The key word in Al-Quran is yattaqun. What is yattaqun? What is taqwa? Taqwa means you have an imminent threat. You know it, you see it, you have been told about it, what you should do.
Protect yourself.
This is the meaning of taqwa. So if you do not believe in a life after this life, then why should you care about it? So that's why قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. If you are a mu'min, then you are going to have taqwa. And that's why Al-Quran, you have in Surah Al-Baqarah, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِّلْمُتَّقِينَ. لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. If you are willing to go by this book, you know the imminent danger, you are prepared, you save, and you will be saved. Okay? وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَعِبٌ وَلَهُ وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ لِلَّذِينَ يَتَّقُونَ أَفَلَا
تعقلون.
Okay, again, Al-Quran is always using this as a verb, not as a noun. يَعْقِلُونَ. Okay, means are you able to make a connection between 2 points? And your connection is going to be what? True. Like as I said, you see the red light, then the connection between you what?
Stop.
Danger. Then I should do what? I should stop. If you passes and you don't think about it, it means you don't have any kind of aqil. I mean you cannot put 2 things together. So the meaning of ya'qil means you are putting 2 things together and you know what is the consequence, and the consequence is bad, you are not going to do it. If the consequence is good, then you are going to do it. 33. قد نعلم. قد نعلم للتوكيد, not that we know, right? قد للتوكيد نعلم, that we know. إنه لا يحزنك الذي يقولون. What is حزن? You are grieving. For what? Why Rasul was grieving?
Because people don't want to.
Because they say Allah has a son, Allah has a daughter, Allah has a wife, there's no hereafter. You are grieving not for yourself.
For them.
You are grieving because you know what is hell and they don't know what is hell. You don't want them to go to hell. You see, the Prophet, حَرِيصٌ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ, he cares about you more than your own mother cares about you. You see, your mother who is going to stand up in the middle of the night because you are crying, she shows mercy to you. The Prophet is more merciful to you than your mother. You know why? Because your mother is caring about your being, but he is caring about you to go to hellfire. You see how much he cares about you, that he doesn't want you to go to hell. That's why he is grieving, because you are not listening to him. قد نعلم إنه لا يحزنك الذي يقولون. What they say. فإنهم لا يكذبونك. They know that what you have is true. Why? Because before you became a prophet, what they used to say to you about you? As-Sadiq, Al-Amin. They know Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the most honest, the most truthful man in Mecca. And even when he was a prophet, still they used to give their good, precious things to him, because they know that he will never betray them. So they know you. So إنهم لا يكذبونك. But the key is they don't want to change their way of life. They don't want to change their way of life. فإنهم لا يكذبونك ولكن الظالمين. See, this is the key. It is not you. It is me. It is not you. It is me. They are not going to submit to me. They are not. We are not the followers. We are not the worshippers of Muhammad. It is not. We are not Muhammadanism, like Christians or Buddhism or Hinduism. No, no. We are Muslims. We are submitting to Allah. Muhammad is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't worship him. We don't go to Allah through him. So that's why the challenge is not for you. The challenge is me. They don't want to accept me. ولكن الظالمين بآيات الله يجحدون. Including you, because you are an ayah that you came to tell them, I am the Prophet of Allah, you have to go this way, they are not accepting you. So the problem is with them, with me. Not with you. Yes, even though they are not accepting you, But you as a medium, the end result is whom? Is me. Allah wants to comfort the Prophet ﷺ. مَا كُنْتَ بِدْعًا مِنَ الرُّسُلِ. You're not the only prophet. Means you need to know what happened to the prophets before you, so that you become what? You become firm that I am not facing this as if I'm the only one who's facing this. Okay? وَلَقَدْ كُذِّبَتْ رُسُلٌ مِّن قَبْلِكَ. All the prophets, none of the prophets was welcomed by his people. No prophet was welcome. You know what is wrong with the human being. You have someone coming to you, you say to you, give me $100, I will make you make $10,000. You will rush to give him the money because you believe in him.
Yeah.
Allah says to you, you follow me, I'll put you in heaven, I'll make you happy in this life. You say to him, no. And no is for the majority. Like today, what is the percentage of the humans today? The calculation, the census.
Yeah.
7 point, we are 7.8.
Yeah, 7.
How many are accepting Allah? I'm sorry?
7.
Accepting Allah.
No, maybe.
How many accepting Allah? 20%? You are wrong. Even Muslims are not accepting Allah. How many Muslims are not praying?
Yeah.
How many Muslims are not paying zakah? So even among this 1.7 billion Muslims, you need to go and see how many of the 1.7 out of the 8 billion who are really disciplined, who are not cutting corners with Allah. Muslims are the richest. Muslims have too much wealth,
Yeah.
but the largest percentage of poor are among the Muslims. Why? Because those rich are not paying their due to them. So how they are accepting Allah and they are not responding to Him. But again, that shows you that the prophets, majority of the people rejected the prophets. Majority of them, very few. And that's why the Quran reminds you in Surah Al-Waqi'ah, ثُلَّةٌ مِنَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَقَلِيلٌ مِنَ الْآخِرِينَ. وَقَلِيلٌ. And the Quran always uses the majority in the negative way.
Yeah.
وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرُهُم بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ وَمَا أَكْثَرُ النَّاسِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ. So don't count on the majority. Majority are easy to go with shaitan rather than to go with Allah. Inshallah next week we'll continue.